The first woman to graduate Columbia College, in what was then an all-male school at Columbia University, was Anna Kornbrot in 1974, 9 years before women were formally admitted to Columbia. When Anna was a student at the engineering school, she saw a loophole in the course catalog. It said that if you were an engineering student who took enough liberal arts courses, then after you got your engineering degree at the end of 4 years, you could get your Bachelor of Arts at the end of 5. Only nowhere in the course catalog did it specify that you had to be a male to enroll in the program. So Anna decided that she was going to push the envelope. Anna is the daughter of Holocaust survivors from Poland. She didn't want to feel like in any way that she was shortchanging her education. And so she met with the deans at Columbia College, and they went ballistic. "Are you looking to disrupt the university?" they asked Anna. "Yes," Anna finally said. "I am looking to disrupt the university." And so her fiancé Barry, that was in law school, advised Anna that perhaps given the circumstances, she should go and get some legal counsel. Anna went to a professor in the law school who she assumed would be sympathetic. She asked her, "What are my options? What are my chances that this might actually work?" The professor told her, "You know, schools have so much discretion about who they can take and who they don't take. Don't pursue it. You're not going to get in." But Anna didn't listen to that professor. She did pursue it, and she got in. And in 1975, she graduated with her bachelor's degree in liberal arts. Of course, the university then closed the loophole that she used to get in, only 9 years later to blow it up when Columbia College started to admit women. And as for the professor who told her to back off and not waste her time, she would go on to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States, the notorious Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg of blessed memory. Why do I begin this Shabbat with a lesser-known story on Shabbat Shuvah of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? In particular, during a week when every well-deserved accolade after accolade had been placed on Justice Bader Ginsburg and the fine life of jurisprudence that she lived. First and foremost, this Shabbat, I wanted to begin with this story because it's an important lesson that even the greatest among us can make mistakes. Justice Ginsburg is rightfully to be praised for her role in pushing the envelope for women. No one alive today has done more than Justice Bader Ginsburg. And if you haven't seen the movie On the Basis of Sex, go out and do it after Shabbos and the holidays. It is a powerful tribute to an American trailblazer. And yet, here is one story I learned when I was a child over Shabbos dinner with our close family friends, Barry and Anna. It was then published in Columbia University Magazine. How could a trailblazer for women not advocate for this young woman who would go on to be a trailblazer in her own life, in her own right? Well, there's one answer for that. Professor Bader Ginsburg made a mistake. And if the notorious RBG falls short, as we approach Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur on Shabbat Shuvah, let us all accept the fact that we are imperfect as well. But there is also perhaps another answer which connects to a second lesson that I'd like to present to you this Shabbat that I think we can learn from this story. And that is that on Shabbat Shuvah, we must remember that all of us here and at home have the capacity to learn, to grow, and to change. You know, much has been made about the fact that the professor, doctor, lawyer, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was entering the Supreme Court in 1993, was not the same Ruth Bader Ginsburg who left the court in 2020. Think about it. In 1993, Justice Bader Ginsburg was confirmed 97-3 by the Senate. Today, with all of the battles over the court that we've been seeing, it would be unlikely that she would be confirmed at all. And so I might argue that the RBG in 1974 who told Anna not to pursue her course of action might not have done so in the year 2000 with the person she grew to become. Reminding us on Shabbat Teshuva that all of us, we in this room, have the capacity to evolve, to grow, and if we find the chutzpah, perhaps the audacity to change. Her life and evolution are an example to all of us in this regard. Shabbat Teshuva reminds us that we are not supposed to live our lives stagnant, but we are supposed to grow and to change. Which brings me to one final lesson for all of us this morning. And that is that this story reminds us that there is, in fact, a successful way to bring about change in the world in which you live. Change is as much an internal process as it is an external process as well. When we feel the zeitgeist of history motivating change in our society, or even in ourselves, how do we make real, lasting, adaptive change? The kind of change that Anna and Justice Bader Ginsburg made wasn't made while screaming from rooftops. Anna made her change simply by asking the right questions to the right time at the right people. And I will tell you, knowing Anna, there is no way she didn't do it with humility, conviction, and the courageous power of persistence. And when we do teshuvah of ourselves, we too summon these very aspects within us, having the power to not only look outward at the world, but to look inward at ourselves, to be humble, introspective, and persistent. Justice Bader Ginsburg spent her entire career. She changed the world not through the voice of a megaphone, but through the power of the pen. And she too did it with an endearing sense of warmth, kindness, and humility that even her intellectual adversary, Justice Antonin Scalia, could not resist, as they became the best of friends. The changes she helped to bring about in our society led all of us to be more introspective. They led us all to address deep and meaningful questions. That's how teshuvah takes place. It's a valuable lesson for all of us this Shabbat. This Shabbat we are called to turn our hearts toward God. Shuva Adonai ve'ashuva aleichem. Return to me, says, O God, and I shall return to you. This Shabbat we do so being grateful for the legacy and for the life of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was not perfect. She always evolved, and she was a person who understood that to bring about justice and change, she could do so successfully in that still, small, quiet voice. She is the Shabbat Teshuva, a role model for us all. I hope you will join me this week, Thursday at 2 p.m. in Sandy Springs at the City Center, as we conclude Shiva as a community for Justice Bader Ginsburg and symbolically take a walk around the complex. May her memory always endure for a blessing, and let us all say, Amen.